Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today we're going to be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. This is episode 11, and in the last episode we saw pretty much the expansion of Europe. We saw a bunch of countries be created over here in Northern Europe, as well as the Italian states. We saw the filling in of Iberia, which makes, I think, the map look pretty good. And we also saw the creation of what I called United Tribes of France, but I'm renaming it to the Kingdom of Auvergne. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button. And before I start, I have something to say. Well, multiple things. Number one, I added a river layer. If you could not tell already, it's going to make this so much better if I'm going to be honest. And also, let's talk about the unknown layer. So the unknown layer, anything that's unknown doesn't mean there's not people living there. It just means that the countries that exist here don't know really what's there, pretty much. I feel like that's important for me to say because there's people living all over the world, just not in countries. And if you do notice, there are some very minor border changes just to make it for example this one, just to make it a river border. So the first thing that we're going to see happen is an updated unknown layer. And this is going to be pretty dramatic. So this is the before and this is the after. Alright, so let's take a look at it real quick. First off, the Levant and the rest of Europe have connected and they know they exist for sure. They have been stories about them existing, but now they know for sure that they exist. Taking a look over at the Mediterranean islands, we see that all of the Balearic Islands, including Mallorca and Majorca and the more minor islands, they have all been discovered, as well as the fact they have began to discover Corsica, which Corsica is a very mountainous island, so it's kind of hard for them to explore the whole thing right away. And I should say, no one was living on Corsica in the first place. Over in Africa, we see that they have explored a bit of Morocco, and we're going to take a look at that in just a second, but we're going to get to the rest of this unknown layer. A bit more of the Nordics and the Scandinavian peninsula have been discovered, including this island. I think it wasn't discovered, but I could be wrong. They went all the way up into Finland, and they know about a lot of Eastern Europe over here. But now it's time for the part of the episode that's going to make the borders look completely new. Or I should say different, because everything else is going to stay the same pretty much. So moving along over to this African area over in Morocco, let's take a look first at what the Cadiz is. We're going to take a look at what Cadiz, which is kind of right here, but I'm going to call it Cadiz because that's pretty much where it is going to expand. And it is going to look like this. And then the rest of the countries, which are going to be pretty much city-states, are going to look something like this. It's just a few. And here it is with cities and capitals. This blue country, which I decided the name for both of these. This and this, North and South Argon. So South Argon is going to take the island of Ibiza. We are now going to see that over in the Italian peninsula, we are going to see some expansions before we see creation of countries, which is going to look something like this. First off, this little island country is going to make their greatest comeback ever and take a bit of Corsica. We also see that the Dalmatia coast is going to expand southwards towards, I guess, just the rest of the coast. And we also see that Vicenia is what I'm going to call it. There's really no good name for this, so if you have a better name based on the region or something, please comment. Anyway, it's going to expand both northwards towards this river and southwards towards the rest of the Italian peninsula. And we are going to see that in the rest of the Italian peninsula, it is going to be split up like this. It's not the rest of the Italian peninsula, which I still have cities here, which is inaccurate. I'm going to fix these cities because they're not meant to be there. But basically, this is what it's going to look like, and I'm going to fix the cities real quick. And it looks like this now. I updated all of the cities for all of this, and I think it looks pretty good. Moving over to the Baltics, we pretty much see nothing happen except for the expansion of Latvia, which is going to look very big, and they're coming along to be a very powerful nation. And over in the Scandinavian peninsula, it is going to look like this. A couple new countries, and they're pretty big, but not too much, I guess. All of the countries that are going to expand inward are going to look like this. So pretty much the Kingdom of Auvergne, we got this country, we got the Bremen, I think, country, green one, and Poland. And y'all are gonna need to sit down for this next one. In Central Europe, it is going to look like this now. Look at this. There is a lot of new countries. And here it is with cities. We've just got so much going on, and I think it looks pretty good. So now we are going to actually take a look at some events going on in this video. And with all of these new countries, this also comes with new alliances and already existing alliances being spread to this new area. The first country we're going to talk about is this pink one, which I know it seems irrelevant right now, but trust me, it's going to become relevant. This new really big orange team is going to become part of the yellow alliance, which is going to be a very key factor for this, I guess we could call it influence, because it's a very influential kind of system, because the yellow alliance and the blue alliance are kind of right up against each other. Moving up to England, I'm not done with all of this yet, but I just figured I'd talk about this right now before I forget. The green alliance and this purple alliance are going to become the same alliance, and basically it's because they're so close. This other alliance here with this coral type color is going to get a new member, which is going to be Scotland. This is going to be a key thing that is going to come in place later on. So the pink Poland country is going to create their own pink alliance because they're all about pink. We are also going to see that Latvia is going to join in on this alliance. They're basically just going to be an alliance to help each other out in case there's any wars, and pretty much just like be at each other's sides. They're very close, just like the Baltic nations in modern times. We are, however, going to see that this southern Polish team is going to create their own purple alliance because they are all about purple. And they are also going to get this brownish team on their side, which all in all two of these countries, only two of them, have a total of 4 major cities, which is pretty good for their time. Not only that, but also this gray Bavarian kind of country is going to also join on this alliance. I mean, they're kind of in the middle of like Bavaria, Czechia, this kind of area. And one final country is going to join in on this alliance, which is going to be the remnants of Pomerania. Which means we are obviously going to see that this country is going to join the pink team along with this new kind of vassal but kind of not country right here. These 3 countries are kind of interesting because they're brand new. They have no kind of opinions, although they do. We just don't have opinions on them yet. So let's just go ahead and randomly choose alliances for them. I realize that these colors are oddly similar, but anyway, these 2 are going to join the purple team. This one's going to join the pink team. This one is going to join in on this pink block. It also has a major city. These 2 are kind of joining in on the purple block. The only purple country that's not in the purple block is obviously Pomerania. Now this Luxembourg country is quite interesting, but it's going to join the blue alliance because it knows it's going to get absolutely steamrolled if it aligns with the yellow team. We see that this lilac country is going to join in on the yellow team because they know they don't want to stay neutral and they don't want to join the blue team. And it also connects this yellow block. Along with this, we're also going to see big news. Pink team joins the yellow alliance as well. We're going to see that the final kind of strong country is going to join this blue team. I know they're not that weak and you can't really see their cities, but they do have a major city, so they're kind of strong. I know this one isn't that weak, this one isn't that weak, all that stuff. So we're going to put alliances on all of these guys besides these city-states. And here we have it. Most of them go to the blue team. This one goes to the yellow team. This one goes to the orange alliance, which, what is that? It's brand new. It is the neutrality bloc. Other countries that include joining on this neutrality bloc are going to be all 4 of these city-states. They are all kind of close to each other, but I'm not going to say anything else. Also, this kind of beige one joins. Moving over to the more powerful ones, we see that this purplish blue one is going to join the neutrality bloc. We also see that this gray one is going to join the neutrality bloc. The Eastern Alpine one joins this bloc. This city in the Adriatic, I don't even know what to call this country, but it joins in on the neutrality bloc. And finally, this green one is going to want to join in. Unfortunately, they can't. They've immediately been steamrolled by this beige team. They're going to get absolutely annihilated. Unfortunately, this is not good for them as they're going to be fully annexed. Yeah, they lasted about 3 minutes on this new map. Alright, I changed the color of the Polish alliance to make it look more distinct. We are going to see a new alliance is going to form up in this Italian country, and it is going to be the Cyan Alliance, also known as the Adriatic Bloc. We see that along with this rich Italian country, we also see that Dalmatia is going to join this, along with this beige one that invaded their neighbor, and these two countries right here. It's a pretty humble and small alliance, although it is kind of powerful with this Italian state as well as Dalmatia. Taking a look at the beige alliance over in this Galician country, we are going to see that Aquitaine is going to join this alliance, which is going to be an interesting choice. And that is going to do it for the alliance layer for now. I kinda didn't really talk that much about the Levant and what they're going to do from now on. Basically, I did not get the river layer done for this area, so unfortunately, they're just going to be sitting here waiting for something to happen. Let's just say that they're going to raise their population and they're getting ready to expand. Moving over to Ireland, we are going to see that the South Irish Union, which is now going to be known as the Kingdom of Ireland, or the Kingdom of South Ireland, because the reason Ireland, they're going to invade this purple neighbor because they say, you are worthless and we want your land. So they're going to begin invading, immediately take the capital. This is not it for this Irish country, however, because they are patriotic. They care about their nation and they're going to do their best to fight. This city is going to be unfortunately captured. As far as these guys, they're going to move in inwards, just like this, and it's, yeah, let's just say their patriotism is not working as their country is being absolutely destroyed. It's being raided as well, so some of these cities are being burnt to the ground, and we're going to take a look at that in just a second after the peace treaty. Closing in on this final city, they are going to say goodbye, guys, because they're no more. Let's just say that. And in this final peace treaty, we're going to see they get fully annexed. What did you expect? They are going to kind of be like that. And let's take a look at the cities that are absolutely destroyed. And these two cities are going to be absolutely destroyed. They no longer exist on the map. This aggression coming from the south is going to make all three of these countries very nervous, and they're going to create an alliance. And it is going to be another beige alliance, but don't get me wrong, it's not the same as this beige alliance. This one's a little bit darker brown. These guys are scared and they know they cannot defend themselves on their own, so they're going to invite a member to their alliance. And they're going to recruit not only this guy, but they're also going to recruit Aberdale, I think that's called. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but they're going to join in as well. Speaking of this country, they are going to invade into this neighboring country, and it is going to absolutely fall. No chance of survival. And they're also going to do the same with this very ugly colored country. I'm just joking. It's just coral. I'm just being a hater. But they are going to ultimately fully annex both of them, making their borders a little bit larger. Along with this, we see that this Inverness Scottish country, we're just going to call it Scotland, because it is going to make a peace deal to fully annex this country. That's right, they don't have any say. They say, let us take your entire country or we're going to invade you, and they do not want to lose all their population, so they are going to simply fall and join them. Now, they are country hungry, they're land hungry, and they're going to immediately invade into this pinkish country because they want a better coastline. So they're going to take this country and fully annex it. Not only that, they did this so they can make a sneaky landing right here. they invade into this country. I don't know what it's called, but it's going to absolutely fall yet again, fully annexed. So we are going to see they are not done. They're going to continue along this Scottish coastline to take all of these countries because they do not matter to this Scottish country. They're going to just take all of the coastline and they're going to ultimately all surrender to Scotland. And instead of being fully annexed, they're going to become a vassal. Because this capital is very sparsely populated, it barely recognizes as a major city, like barely. And with this, we should probably see a lot more cities being major cities, but that is for a later issue because I do not want to do that. And as kind of a final push to make way for their capital, they are going to make a naval landing onto this country and absolutely destroy it. Along with that, they're going to invade this country, and it is also going to be absolutely no chance of surviving that, so they're going to be both fully annexed. And this country right here is going to be absolutely terrified. They're not even going to have a peace deal sent to them. They're going to just join them right away, and they feel this is the best way to survive. And I did change the color of this country just a tad, just so that it's easier to see with the border of Scotland. Moving on down south, we see that Aquitaine is going to be angry. They're going to be yelling. They're going to be hollering. And this is because of a simple invasion. And this is going to get the people really excited because they want more land. So we are going to see they're going to invade into this country to their north, absolutely take their capital in literally days, very quick. Then they are going to spearhead straight up here, cut this country in half, and they are going to surrender very quickly. And with this happening, we are going to see that this country is going to be fully annexed. I know that's absolutely insane. They're going to become a very prominent power in this region. However, they do not have that many weaker neighbors. In fact, only one being this Polynesia country. Moving along over here, we are going to see unlikely unification with this country, and this country. They're going to all unite together to unify into one country. They are going to choose this Copenhagen Island. I don't know what it's called, but they're going to choose that island as their capital city because it's in a very strategic location. We are going to see some heated relationships over in Iberia, and this does not include the Beige Alliance because they are very happy right now. They are doing all the things they can do with their cute little 3 members. We are going to see that this green team is going to invade into this little beige team, and the purpose of this invasion is because they are small and they want to be more prominent, more powerful, which is going to be their ultimate goal. Ultimately, they're going to take this country, but that's not it. They're going to move along this river, spearhead down, and take this capital city. This whole country is going to fall, and this is going to raise tensions with this light blue alliance because they say you're on an absolute expansion craze right now. This is not okay, and we do not like you. And to this, they're simply going to invade another country, splitting it in half, absolutely destroying it, and it is going to be, again, fully annexed, which I'm going to actually do that real quick, and boom, it is large. We are now going to see a city be upgraded to an even larger city right here, a major city. That's absolutely insane stuff, and this is going to be their new capital, obviously. And with this happening, we see that the green country is now known as Madrid. We are going to see tension between the green team and the pink team. We are going to see the border clash is going to be with this city. They're going to claim it, and they're going to say, this is all our city because we said so, and we invaded this country. This country had claims on this very unofficially, like very loosely. They said, we wanted this in our creation, and they didn't get it. But because of that, they're going to claim that they own this land and this city. And this is going to cause absolute chaos throughout all of these alliances. They're going to be absolutely freaking out. Like, we do not want this full-scale war in this entire region of Europe. And to retaliate, this pink team is going to invade into this light blue country. The reason why this is retaliation is because they are going to do the exact same thing that the green team did in order to get their new capital as well, and this is going to cause a bit of backlash from that orangish alliance, and this is because of the fact that they're like proving that they can do the exact same thing we can do, and that is being hostile. And to retaliate, another member in this orange alliance is going to invade into one of the last unallied countries over here. This was their capital, but obviously it is no more, and I already erased it, so I don't have to erase it later, because it is going to be fully annexed, and they're not going to have a capital anymore because they do not exist. Tensions are now at an all-time high, and kind of in the meantime, we see the official union between these two countries. They're going to have only one capital city because obviously they don't need both. They want the one on the river. And they're going to organize to have this land split up between the Portuguese country, this red team, and Galicia because they want to have relatively friendly relationships. And this is sort of the division that they are going to agree upon. So let's take a look at how this is going. The first country to make a move is going to be Portugal. They're going to initiate their plan by invading into this sort of dark cyan kind of color team, and they are going to exist no more. And they're going to immediately invade into this next one, taking their capital and seeing that the rest of this land is going to fall over, as well as this land falling over to this team. We see the invasion of this country is going to go swift and fast, cutting this country in half and invading into this capital, and we are going to see that that is pretty much all it's going to take for this country to completely fall apart. Now Galicia is going to take the opportunity to take this land very swiftly and take all the land that they were guaranteed. Now, the reason why Galicia got so little is because they are already so big and worrying about instability. Anyway, this country is going to fall because its capital was taken. Portugal is going to claim these lands up here, and they're going to ask for these countries to surrender right away. The orange one obviously says, obviously we're going to do that. This one, not so lucky, so they get invaded and steamrolled. I don't know why they didn't just agree to it, because they were so small anyway. And with that, we see the new borders looking something like this. And before we get to total escalation in Iberia, we are going to move over to a little bit more light-hearted conversation here up in Scandinavia and Denmark. As we see that this lilac country, or whatever it's called, is going to immediately invade into this country. And what do I mean immediately? I mean as soon as they are off guard, looking like they are friends. And this is the biggest betrayal we've seen, and it is not good. Let's just say that, because they are going to absolutely steamroll quicker than a reference that you may or may not understand. I'm not going to talk about, obviously. They are not done. They are going to team up with this Denmark Islander country, which I guess we could probably call Zealand, because that's what this island is called. It's not the original name of New Zealand, which comes from this region over here. This is Zealand, but this is the island of Zealand, and I'm getting off topic. Anyway, they're going to invade into this country very, very quickly. They're going to make naval landings everywhere. Like over here, they're going to make a naval landing in this city, and this is because their naval abilities are so much superior to anyone else's in the entire Jutland Peninsula. Let's just say that, okay? The invasion of this island is going to happen very swiftly because they also did not see this happening. And the reason why this country agreed to that is because they want to be known as the Islander country. Absolutely insane and a very smart plan for them. but they see an opportunity and they're going to take it. They're going to make a naval landing here, take the capital city, and then this country is absolutely angry. They wanted all of the Jutland Peninsula, and this country is occupying them, so this is kind of outrageous. So they are going to immediately spearhead up this way to border them, and they are going to recapture this city, fighting these forces instead of these, which at this point are all gone. Naval landing into this island, and they are going to betray them. They literally just made an agreement to invade this country, and they're being invaded themselves in the same war. This is absolutely insane and the biggest betrayal. But what they did not see happening was Pomerania wants a comeback. They are going to invade into that country, the biggest betrayer of history so far. And this is very logical. They are going to be able to make so many gains as this country is unprepared, has all of their forces here because they want to get this country out as fast as possible. So they are going to be very blissfully unaware, and their capital is at risk. With this encirclement, that's going to completely fall, and they are going to actually capture the capital city very swiftly. And with this, they are going to make an agreement with both of these guys before they completely get eradicated. The first thing we see is this island gets annexed by Zealand. Pomerania will annex all of this land, making them double the size they originally were after this horrible war that they lost. This country does gain some land, but it doesn't make up for the fact that they lost so much land. The only thing it makes up for is they got the capital city of this ugly colored country. Now this absolutely mustard country is going to annex the rest of this country, and this is for reparations. Now why do they still exist? Well, it's because they lost the war, and this country said, join our alliance or we're going to give you a horrible peace treaty, and they're so stingy they agreed to the bad peace treaty. However, we see as a result of this, Zealand's going to join their alliance, and this is going to actually help this front. Poland is absolutely scrambling. They are terrified. So they're going to look up north into these two countries. And as a matter of fact, they are going to manage to get both of these countries to join their alliance, and this is really a good thing for Poland. Now the escalation of the Polish countries have just begun, but that is for a later episode because we continue our look at Italy. That's right. You thought we were going to do an Iberian episode. Absolutely not. We're going to say that for later because this episode is so long and I want to do a shorter thing. Now moving along over to the Italian states, let's take a look at a small but very impactful war taking place over in this western area. So I've changed their capital cities to the side that they're going to be on. There's the green side and the pink side. I guess you could call it red, but it's pretty much pink. So the first thing we're going to see happen is that this Genoan team is going to invade straight off into whatever this is. I mean, I don't really know. I think it's Milan, but Milan's more north, so something like that. They're gonna actually head straight for it and take it, which is kind of surprising, but they're completely out of troops, so they're gonna kind of have to sit here for a minute. In the meantime, these guys are going to invade into these countries, and I'm just going to use the same color for all fronts, regardless of country, just because it's easier that way. We're going to have them invading into this reddish team all the way into the coast and following along here, taking this city. Both of their capital cities have been captured, and in fact all of their cities have. But yeah, let's just see this. We are going to see the advancement of this country into these countries right here. It's pretty easy for them to just invade here because they're kind of a mountainous country in the first place, and they're also quite big, so they do have the population for it. They're going to actually capture all the cities of here, and actually these are both going to surrender just like so. and they're going to begin their advancement on south. These guys are unstoppable at this point. They are just continuing to go in despite the odds, because all the odds are saying that the other team is going to win. Well, at least on this front. Speaking of this front, they are going to continue their invasion into this country, taking the capital city, which is not very good, but this country was never strong in the first place, and we're just going to have this country real quick occupy this land. So the rest of this country is just going to ultimately fall, and a group advancement into this area is going to occur because they need to get this land in order to win this war, which at this point they're doing very well. This Florence country is going to spearhead straight into the capital of this one, and it's just going to fall right away. Interestingly, this one has not joined the war, but is just going to kind of sit there. And at this point, it's pretty much just at this front line, which unfortunately for this Red Alliance, well, let's just take a look at what Auvergne is going to do. And it is just going to go straight into this country. It's going to force it to surrender, and it's going to continue its push up here. Yes, this is mountainous, but no, they do not care because they are so much stronger than these guys, and they are going to pretty much do another surrender here. The push on this front is going to end in something like this. This country gets liberated. It is eventually going to fall as we see forces in here come and take the city of Turin. And this technically is just occupied land, so it's going to fall. Now, let's take a look at a peace treaty. Well, it's safe to say at this point, France is going to fully annex both of these countries. And as a matter of fact, they're going to use their superior troops to invade into any of these tribes in the Alpine Mountains and take all of this region, which is absolutely insane. It's not very stable, but they're going to manage to capture it. So we are going to see that this country right here is going to take a lot of land, making them one of the most superior northern Italian states. We are going to see that these two are going to unite to create kind of a western state. Genoa is going to take these parts. Florence is going to take this entire country. And a brand new country is going to exist in the place of this because all of this was kind of lost. And these are the new capital city situations. And to finish this video off, we're going to see that the Kingdom of Auvergne is on a power ramp. Let's just say that I probably said that really wrong or really weirdly. But they're going to invade into Pyrenesia because they're like, you're stupid and you're weak and we want you. So they're going to invade into this country. Now, it's pretty easy to take their capital because it's pretty much the only city in this entire country that really matters. But they're going to continue up the river, and it's just going to go not very well for Pyrenesia. They're going to spearhead, take this land, and encircle this bit, go down and take this city. And they are going to work to cut this country in half, taking this city, cut it in half, make this part fall, and the rest of it is also going to fall. Unfortunately for them, they are going to be fully annexed. And this now makes the Kingdom of Auvergne the country with the second most major cities, just behind the Frankish Empire. Now we are going to take a look at power rankings because I've been asked to do that several times in the past and I just said, But let's just do it because I always forget. Number 1 is the Frankish Empire. I feel like this is pretty obvious one. Number 2, close second, is going to be the Kingdom of Auvergne. They've been gaining so much power recently and it's kind of crazy. Number 3 is going to be Galicia, and after this, a bit of space between the next one. Number 4 is going to be Poland. This is because they've been here for quite a while. Number 5 is definitely more tricky, but in my opinion, I would have to say the Kingdom of Ireland because they've been here for a while, so they have a large population, so that's why they're so powerful. Number 6, for a similar reason, is going to be Aquitaine. They just gained a bunch of new land here, so they have a lot of population, which makes them so much higher. Number 7 is going to be this country. They're relatively strong, let's just say. Number 8 is going to be this new Italian state. I know it's still quite a young state, but it just has a lot of population. Even though it only has one major city, it just has a lot of people living throughout the country. With that, number 9 is definitely going to be this country because it has 3 major cities. It's quite underestimated. Number 10 is going to be Scotland, and I know this is crazy. Scotland is more powerful than any other nation in this, and yes, it's true, because of their vassal, and also their influence. With that being said, the number 11 is going to be this country. I still don't know what it's called. Number 12 is this southern Polish country. I don't know, it's just kind of populated. Number 13 is going to be South Netherlands. It's just been here for a while, so it has a big population. Number 14 is going to be Oxford here. They've been here for so long, and they're just really populated, I'm going to be honest. 15 is over here in Latvia. I mean, they should be higher, but they're still quite new, and all of these minor cities are still very small. This is definitely not 100% accurate. You can create your own list if you want. I know this is just me thinking right on the spot, so this is probably not very accurate. But I hope that's as accurate as I can get, which it's definitely not. Now that is it for the episode. Before you go, I have something to ask you. Multiple things, actually. I know I'm getting very greedy here, but I just need to ask you guys to do a couple things. Number 1, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Our goal is 1K by the end of the year. It's a very reasonable goal for our current statistics at 716. Next thing, if you enjoy my content and want to engage more in the community, then you can join my Discord server, which I'll put in the link in the description of this video, as well as in my channel description. And lastly, if you enjoyed, please hype this video if you have the ability to, because I need views. Don't make me sound greedy here, I promise. It's for a good cause, because I want a great community, and more people in here means more subscribers. Good subscriber goal. Like the video if you did enjoy, dislike it if you did not and found something particularly bad about it, and please let me know in the comments what that was. But without further ado, that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.